Good evening. Welcome to Take These Chains. Today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2014, coming to you from Missouri, southeast Missouri this evening. Today we have a short haul version, and we're going to be doing a psalm, Psalm 77:11. And if you follow regularly and participate in daily maintenance, we do a lot of psalms. I really enjoy them. Psalm 77 is a psalm of Asaph. It's either a play or to sing. The people in that day are said to have been going through a period of deep soul searching. Psalm 77:11 says, I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. Let's go to an excerpt now from F.B. Meyer. And he says, Go back to the past. Consider the manner in which God has stood by his saints in the days of old, in the years of ancient time. What he did for them, he is prepared to do again. He cannot cast us off. When once he begins, he will continue. The train may be lost in a dark tunnel, but it will shoot out again in the radiant daylight. Through the hard wilderness God led his people into the land of milk and honey. It is thy infirmity that leads us to doubt him. Like John the Baptist, you may be enclosed in a dungeon cell of adverse circumstances. But remember the long years in which the right hand of the Most High was wrought for his people. Again, that was by F.B. Meyer. I'm going to read the psalm again, Psalm 77:11. I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. We would do well not to forget the things he has done for us. I can recall instances in my life where things could have or should have gone very badly for me. But by God's mercy, he has protected me so many times. I recall distinctly when I was a little boy, I just loved to climb trees. Spent all summer long climbing trees. I think I thought that maybe that's why God made trees, was for little boys to climb. But one day I fell out of a particularly unsafe tree, one that my father had warned me to stay out of, but being a little boy, you know how that goes. And, I didn't realize it till much later in life after falling out of that tree, but God showed me his mercy as I was not injured. I remember specifically there was like a chain link fence with a rail along the top right at the bottom of the tree, and my dad was afraid I'd fall out of that tree and hit my back on that rail. Obviously, that's very dangerous, but God spared me from that. Again, I just want to try to remember the things he has done on my behalf, and certainly I've not deserved such kind treatment. But God loved me then, even before I knew him. He loved me then, and remarkably, he still loves me now. Psalm 28:5 says, Because they do not regard the works of the Lord, nor the deeds of his hands, he will tear them down and not build them up. There are many, many people, unfortunately, who do not acknowledge the true and living God. Psalm 78:11 says, They forgot his deeds and his miracles that he had shown them. The following verse in Isaiah is a picture of so many people's lives, people who I know and love. Isaiah 5:12 says, Their banquets are accompanied by lyre and harp, by tambourine and flute, by wine. But they do not pay attention to the deeds of the Lord, nor do they consider the work of his hands. I'm going to go to another excerpt by F.B. Meyer regarding this verse out of Isaiah, and he says, In a picture of great beauty, Isaiah describes a vineyard situated on one of the sunny heights visible from Jerusalem. Every care which an experienced vine dresser could devise had been expended on it, but in vain. The vine dresser himself is introduced, demanding if more have been done. When God selects a nation, a church, or an individual for high and holy work in the world, and expends care and pains on the preparation of the instrument, and his plans miscarry through no failure on his part, but through the obstinacy or obtuseness of the human soul, the measure of what might have been is the gauge of its doom. The worst weeds grow out of the richest soil. This picture is the counterpart of Paul's dread of being a castaway, and that would come out of 1 Corinthians 9:27. Again, that was by F.B. Meyer. Well, it seems like a lot of bad news, kind of, doesn't it? Sort of. Well, let's go to some really good news. The Lord offers to be gracious and compassionate, and I don't want to miss out on that. Psalm 111:4. He has made his wonders to be remembered. The Lord is gracious and compassionate. You know, that's so awesome. Grace and mercy, and I can certainly live with that. Out of 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 12. Remember his wonderful deeds which he has done, his marvels, and the judgment from his mouth. Well, in conclusion today, let's just take some time to think on, to remember these things which God has done for us. That's it for today. There is a button, it's a gray color button called Must See, Run. I encourage you to click on that. It's a very good little short, I think it's 10 minutes if I recall right, video. Really, really good, especially toward the latter part of it. And then down toward the bottom of the page, we have our usual things. Click this for comics. Those are really, not only are they entertaining, but they have a distinct message. And I appreciate the kind of a sort of a dry sense of humor from the author, in a way, kind of dry, but just really good. And then two very important blue buttons at the bottom of the page. One is called Ministry Education, and the other is Truth and Mercy Ministries. Now, they're both related. That's why they're both blue. Truth and Mercy Ministries, you'll find a lot of good postings by the pastor there, Pastor Abaldo. Excellent, excellent things he posts. He posts Truth and Mercy. And he is the dean of the school, a school that I attend and participate in. And if you're interested in getting an education, a Christian ministry education, certainly check that out. Just push the button, it'll take you right there. And that really is it for today. Lord willing, we'll be back on Thursday. God bless you.